Greetings from the past, my fellow time travelers, and welcome back to another episode of The Ladder. My name is Ty, and let's see what Ashton wants to tell Becca again.
I can't say much more than that.
Still, the look on Rebecca's face, the resentment and the pain. It hurts me as well, to think that I'm the cause of that. It's a familiar one, too. Something I've seen a lot of over the years. I wonder how long it will take before Zack starts giving me the same one. Or until I've hurt Isabella in a way that any sincere apology won't ever be enough. What a mess. I'm a mess, and it's the people close to me who have to suffer for it.
I guess, if that's the case, there's nothing much I can do about it.
No.
You're off being a... what? A hero, I guess? And I shouldn't rag on you for that.
I could never get used to how quick she just forgives me for whatever shitty thing I do. Zack and Isabella too. They have all been patient with me, unlike I with them. I don't deserve any of them for the kind of person I've turned out to be.
I'm hardly a hero, Becca. I'm just... Ash.
I expect a retort. Another one laced with bitterness. Hints that she loves. Half-hearted, with barely a hint of cheer in it, but it's a love nevertheless. I honestly don't know what to make of that. What to do with myself upon hearing it. It's almost like the mere sound of it is meant to pierce.
The least you could have done is tell me. Maybe I could have helped. Kept an ear and an eye out for you. I don't know. I could have been Irene Adler, maybe?
Her smile doesn't quite reach her eyes. But the mask, she tries so hard for me. I give her a smile of my own, though I imagine it comes off as unenthusiastic as hers. It's far easier to slip back to banter when it's like this, to just brush off everything. At least this way, we wouldn't have to deal with awful things.
The woman? Don't flatter yourself. Nancy Blue, more like.
Her sidekick would beg to differ, Ashette.
I couldn't stop a wry grin from forming in my lips. She probably still has the photo from that contest. Keeps it in her old diary. I never did find either of the two after I threatened to burn them. In the end, I just never brought it up again, hoping she'd just forget about the whole thing. But a small smile on her face said a lot. Those were good times. A lot simpler, a lot more peaceful. Now, nothing's has changed. We are no longer the same people we were as kids. Growing up together doesn't mean it always has to be just the two of us, in the first place. It's a dumb notion to believe in. When nothing ever remains constant, things will inevitably change through the years. In fact, it already has long ago. Not just with the people we allowed into our respective lives, but also with us, as people, as friends. It really does get complicated as we get older, doesn't it? Not everything has to be, though. Even if it's in the form of a promise, I have no idea when I'll be able to fulfill it.
I swear, I'll explain when it's all over.
The silence afterwards brings an even heavier air between us. Something that Rebecca thankfully doesn't allow to linger more than necessary.
I suppose you have to go now, huh?
The situation is already awkward as it is. Dragging this out will only make it more... what? Difficult? Messed up? As if it isn't already.
Back to your case again?
I don't really have to. I have no case. As far as the job is concerned, I have the weekend off until I have to report to Chief on Monday. Although, I don't want to just throw in the towel on this. Orders are orders. This isn't like the movies. I don't get to say fuck off, throw my gun and bat at him, become some vigilante, save the day and get my job back. I'd rather get my ass thrown in jail than do any of that. But it's also not in my nature to sit still and do nothing. It would drive me crazy if I just idle about. Besides, there is someone who has to know about this whole Luke Wright thing.
Yeah, I need to go talk to Professor Clark. And there's something else I need to look into.
That other matter she mentioned last night specifically. The same stuff Zachary has also been trying to tell me. Things even the news have been blasting out to the general populace lately. Even afternoon, morning, all this with the same motives blamed on a single serial killer. Or is it still the case?
Burned dead in the early hours of the morning today. The fire was contained within the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxborn police.
We are grasping at straws as far as these murders are concerned. In the first place, I'm not even the one heading this investigation. Yet, look at me treating it as if it's another high-profile case on my shoulder. How sad is that? Although all three of my friends have mentioned seeing something strange, I don't want to go into that line of thinking for now. Not yet. Not until I've exhausted every logical argument I could throw at it. To be honest though, I don't know how to take all of this anymore. But I've already given Isabella my word. It would bother me more if I didn't follow up on the promise I made to her. And after Rebecca's claims last night, there won't be enough sarcasm in the world if what my friends have been telling me is true. I can already hear Isabella's laughter, in fact.
Figures. What else can it be?
It's not another case. It's something else. That issue Isabella mentioned yesterday morning. I'm sure you remember. You were there.
Well, at least you're not neglecting all your friends.
Becca, I promised her I'll...
She doesn't wait for me to finish. With a roll of her eyes, she turns around and shuts the door in my face. I have no idea what I've said this time, but...
I probably deserve that.
Well, we'll just have to fix this some other time. By then, her temper's sure to have cooled off significantly. So, what's next? Oh. Rebecca confronted Ashton about what happened at the party the night before. Unable to tell her any details, the latter simply admitted it was confidential. Although Rebecca accepted this, her displeasure remained evident on her face. Okay. Hopefully. For now, I can't laze around. Gotta attend to things that matter more. Professor Clark's first. Deliver the bad news. Then that issue with BRC and Isabella. Maybe I'll also drop by Zach's. Check on him. Hear what he has to say. He has also read the damn letter. Has also been saying odd things about a bunch of photographs. I might as well, while I'm here playing a paranormal detective, or was it supernatural? I can't remember. Whatever, I wouldn't hurt anyone if I tried to get to the bottom of this. If nothing comes out of this, good. Everyone can shut up about stupid curses and we can finally get back on track with our lives. On to more important stuff. If there is something...
Are you two done?
Oh. There's a moment of confusion when I don't see her familiar ponytail about, only to find her standing behind the door to her apartment seconds later. Isabella holds it open, though only slightly, as if to hide from anyone who might happen to pass by. This early and on a lazy weekend, I doubt anyone would. But from the gap, and what little light there is behind her, I could make out the appearance of someone who has just clearly gotten off from bed. Hair in complete disarray, eyes still heavy with sleep, and a small pout on her lips. She hasn't even gotten out of her pajamas. I look away long before my sense of decorum kicks in. We might be friends. I'll even dare say we've grown closer over the years, but that doesn't extend beyond the bounds of property. Christ, even Rebecca never greets early visitors in her sleep clothes. Though maybe it's our fault why she's up this early. Still, heat makes a slow crawl up my neck. Oh, one that I quickly downplay with a solid cough.
Isabella,
Oh.
You're up early.
He's in love. Lame.
No, I'm not. I'm usually up at this hour. You're the one that usually sucks at getting up early.
Says the person who looks like she's just fallen out of bed.
Instead of the usual quip, she simply averts her gaze to some point beside her. And although it only flashes briefly across her face, an expression of hurt flickers in her eyes. It disappears the second she turns her attention back to me, but that moment has sent a worried twinge in my stomach. I've seen it on her plenty of times before, just never in a manner that unsettles. It feels, I don't know, off this time. I didn't say anything wrong, did I?
Hey, are you...
Anyway, was that Becca with you? You both sound like Mama and Papa when they fight. You're awfully loud. If we get another memo from the landlady, I'm asking the guard to ban you from ever entering this place.
Oh.
Me? Becca's the one almost shouting.
Yeah, well, she lives here. You don't. You have no excuse. You're the suspicious-looking person.
Thanks. Glad at least one person appreciates how I pretty up this place.
Don't flatter yourself. This place would be so much better without having to see your face every few days.
She follows it up with another pout. But her ruffled appearance, particularly how puffy her eyes are, I noticed just now, takes away from the intimidating effect she's trying to show. Really, right now she just looks more like an angry puppy. I might have laughed at it not giving me another nagging sense that something is definitely wrong with her. What? Has she been crying earlier? That is worrying. She rarely does that. The only time it happened? The one time I've ever seen her genuinely tear up over something? I think it was after Devlin Court, the night at the bridge. I want to ask. She seems determined to keep it to herself though.
Belle, did something...
About yesterday, Ash. The things we talked about. Do you think we can take a look at it today?
We? I never said you're coming with me. Don't worry, I didn't forget about it. You'll be the first to know if I find anything.
No, I want to go with you. I'll be ready in a few. This won't take long.
Isabella, you really don't have to. I can handle it on my own. You'll just...
I won't get in the way, I promise. Besides, maybe I can help. You know, if there are files you want to check.
I don't like what she's implying. It's true, LPD is having a hard time with this, but taking Isabella with me, it's out of the question. Under normal circumstances.
You're the one who's going to get in trouble if you do that.
You said it yourself. You need information, and I can help you get that. And it's not like it matters anymore. I just don't want to stand around doing nothing today.
There is it again. The slight shift in her eyes. The mouth crease forming between her eyebrows. And the mild slump in her shoulders while she crosses her arms tightly around herself. Like she's shielding herself from whatever painful thing there is out there. I have plenty of reasons why I shouldn't let her tag along. First and foremost, she's a civilian. Second, I have no concrete plan of action yet. I'm going into this blind. No matter how I look at it, it's simply better for her to just wait so she won't drag into what might be another one of my failures. Her assumptions might be a dead end for all we know. But seeing that expression on her, hearing her speak those words out loud, in a desperate, almost pleading tone, I can't bring myself to say no. So I give in, because right there, I see myself in her. The person who doesn't want to stay idle, who doesn't want to think of the problems haunting him.
Alright, 5 minutes.
What? You're timing me?
Well, I can't wait forever. I'm a very busy guy. 4 minutes and 45 seconds, Isabella.
I hate
Wow.
you so much. I'm taking back what I said last week. You haven't changed at all.
Oh.
4 minutes and 30 seconds, 29, 28. I'd hurry if I were you.
Ugh, you're awful! I hope you never get a girlfriend.
Oh no, please, I ship those two. Stop saying stuff like that. She slams the door right after, although my chuckles, the mirth and the lightness in it, linger. With her, those have always come easy somehow. Even as its echoes fade away, only the ghost of a smile remains.
It's not like I'm looking for anyone else.
Aww. I want to tell her. Aww, so sweet, so sweet. Oh, that picture is so cute. There are ships, right? Genau. Yeah, sure. Sheeps. What's up with me and my German, English, Germanish language in the last few days? I don't know. Sometimes it comes just easier. I don't know why. Disturbed by the ruckus outside her unit, Isabella reprimands Ashton for the noise. The latter noted her disheveled appearance and puffy eyes, although before he could ask about it, she brought up the issue with BRC again and insisted they both look into it that night. Aw, she's so cute. She's so adorable. Aw. I totally understand Ash why he's fallen for her. It's not because I can't. I won't. I'm the one who has chosen not to, until I fix myself. Until I've found myself underneath all that guilt and those lies I've been telling all these years. because no matter how heavy the weight of these feelings are, I am not yet worthy of them. Of her. Until then, little words and gestures are the only thing I can offer. Minor stuff such as digging deeper into the thing of PRC in order to ease her worries. I'm not even sure if this will give us anything. Unlike with the firm case, which I already have proper leads on, I'm just going by her word on this. Speaking of Luxburn firm case, I still have to inform the professor. The apprehension there for sure. I've made a lot of promises to the man, and I would have preferred to tell him in person, not over the phone. But it's better for him to hear it from me rather than from a stranger. His phone looks damaged. The railings offer a steady support while I wait for him to answer. I'd like to think I can do this without losing my nerve. My grip on the bars surely tightens though, once the call connects.
Ashton!
Not running today, Professor?
He's usually at the park on late Saturday mornings, as long as it isn't raining cats and dogs. Keeps him young and healthy, he says, and he's certainly fit for a man of his age with a sedentary job.
Oh, no, not today.
He's definitely at the usual place though. Cheers and laughter, likely from children and families, filled of fruity receiver. I tend to avoid the park precisely because of this. No use reminding myself of the could-haves when it's already over. Mom's doing well with her career. Dad's also fine the last time I visited, although neither remarried. They are both content with their lives as it is. I'm probably the only one still caught up with it, hence my aversion. But all in all, it's still a pleasant sight to see, if you are the kind who takes joy in such sights like Professor Clark does.
Just thought I'd enjoy the nice weather before it takes a turn for the norm again. And to what do I owe the pleasure?
That guy certainly seems happy right now in any case. I almost don't want to break the news to him. But it's better to get this off quick as long as he doesn't shoot the messenger. He is not the type. However, long-held resentment can change a person. Even someone as mild-mannered as the professor.
I was hoping to talk to you about the, the case.
I suppose I'm just down it today. As soon as I say those words, he pauses and the lightness in his voice is gone in an instant. Every time we've talked about this in the past, he does that. He is probably trying to gauge the situation based on the tone of my voice. Perhaps it's a good thing I'm delivering this news through the phone. Who knows what he will see in my face and my mannerism. The art of keen observation? I learned it from the man. He probably already has an idea what this might be about, from my manner of speaking alone.
You aren't in trouble, are you?
For a second, I hesitate, looking at the dirt beneath my shoes. But I manage, eventually. After a long, ragged draw of breath, I pick up where I've left off, though still fumbling with my words.
Well, I'm in a bit of trouble, if you can call it that.
Ashton!
He only assumes that tone there's a reprimand at its heels.
But I'm not in danger or anything.
You've said that same excuse a million times before, Detective Inspector. That exhausted rasp in your voice tells a different story.
It's nothing like what you're thinking. Don't worry. I was just... I was taken off the Luxborn firm case.
I expect anger, frustration, maybe even disappointment. But all he gives me is a small sigh of relief.
Is that so? Well, at least you aren't in danger. Liz wouldn't be too happy if she heard you right now.
Liz. Aunt Liz. She insisted I called her. His late wife. A sweet-tempered woman by so many standards. They were never blessed with kids and contented herself with simply managing their bakery. But she's the closest I had to a mom in the few years I had known her. The professor too. In the absence of my own parents in my life, the two filled the ache their divorce left in me.
Believe me, you'd get an earful. You don't want to show up at her doorstep looking like you haven't slept a wink either.
How many years has it been since? 9? 10? I can still remember it vividly. Two men prominently dressed, briefcases in hand, and a stern look on each other of their faces. They were already frequent visitors to the bakery for a few months. Something about the lot being a prime property in downtown Luxburn. I think they were hoping to settle a deal with them, but neither of the couple gave in to their demands. Why should they? That quaint little shop was a dream for them. Aunt Liz sent me home early that night after a fruitless wait for the professor. The next morning, news of a bakery razed to the ground had spread across the whole city. 1 casualty. Oh no. A few weeks later, the property was sold to Wright Enterprises. A fucking hotel now stands in its place. Of course, an investigation was launched after the incident. The name Luke Wright was briefly at the center of it, but with the lack of any evidence, the case ultimately went cold. The professor hides it well. However, I can tell that he hates that man to this day. He might even blame Luke Wright for every tragedy that happened in the city. Oh. He has never blamed me though, when I'm as equally responsible. I knew something's off the moment those men stepped inside the shop. I could have saved her that night. I could have prevented anything from happening to her, called for help or whatever. I didn't. So it continues to eat at me until today. The guilt. Oh, Ashton! Oh my god. The Luxburn firm case would have been our chance at reopening that old case, if we could have proved Luke right of his crimes. Instead, we are back to square one. Yet, all he has from you are words of comfort. To think he can still be this concerned about me after my carelessness, after I've broken another promise a second time. People never cease to amaze me.
You might think that you have failed as an officer. Or maybe you think that you have failed me.
No. I love Professor Clark. He's the best guy. I'm so glad that they're choose back in the cinema to go and see him and not the priest. I love this guy so much. But guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe to my channel. If you already subscribed, click on the notification bell down below so you get notified when I upload my videos. Share this on all your social media. And guys, I will see you in the future or back in the ladder. High five! I wish my grandpa would be like that. Aww.